or that decision coming out from the IEC, what can we expect?
Well, definitely, Nompo. I think the question that's now ringing on everybody's mind is it to be or will it not to be? I mean, this as the IEC will probably will actually make an announcement whether or not they will be acting on the recommendations of Justice Moseneke's report that recommends that the October 27 polls be postponed to February next year. And of course, as you've correctly cited and said there, that this after Justice Moseneke has actually solicited over 4,000 submissions and oral submissions as well from the general public, from political parties, Nompu, from legal experts, health experts, and of course electoral role players. And we heard there his recommendations that he made and that he announced on Tuesday. After that, we then heard the IEC chairperson, Mr. Glenn Mashinini, asking that the IEC be given time to actually engage with other stakeholders and come to a conclusion. Of course, yesterday, as you've said earlier on, the IEC met with the PLC, the Political Party Liaison Committee, which comprises of political parties, registered political parties, which are represented in the National Assembly, provincial legislatures, and municipal councils. Of course, they had also, engaged and deliberated upon those recommendations made by Justice Moseneke. But just also to take you through some of the views in his report, Justice Moseneke had also made recommendations that, public electoral campaigns could compromise the efforts of government to actually curb the spread, of the coronavirus. He also said that political parties would not campaign under strict lockdown measures, and political organizations and independent candidates would not be free to hold rallies and campaign for the elections. Of course, this sentiment was actually echoed there by the EFF leader Julius Malema, Nompo. But in terms of other recommendations in his report, especially those pertaining to the current situation that the IEC finds itself in, or possibly next week, Saturday and Sunday, where voter registration will take place, Justice Moseneke had this to say. He had said that under Alerts Level 4 lockdown regulations, which may be extended beyond the July the 25th, the safety of voters who do not have the means for electronic registration is compromised, Nompu. But it's also quite interesting to note that electronic registration has been launched by the IEC, of which was last week, Wednesday. But in terms of the options that the IEC has, Nompu, they've got two options. If they decide to act on Justice Moseneke's, recommendations that the elections be postponed to February, 2022, these two options could actually play out. The first one, which is much more favorable, would mean that the Minister of Cogto actually sets the dates and proclaims the dates of elections. That would be Minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma would then have to go with the IEC and approach a constitutional court to actually ask or request that the court, allow the postponement of, the elections beyond the constitutionally stipulated time frame of 90 days. We know that, Nompo, according to the constitution of the country, elections need to take place every 5 years and 90 days. The last time local government elections took place, Nompo, was on the 3rd of August 2016. That 5-year term then expires on the 3rd of August 2021. The 90 days then expires in November, Nompo. And then the second option, which is quite a lengthy option, that the IEC would then need to probably, act upon, would be a constitutional amendment. But we heard the IEC saying that they would prefer not to go up, on this route if they decide to act upon Justice Moseneke's recommendations. The matter then would need to then go to the National Assembly, where 75 members, of the National Assembly and 6 provinces would then need to vote, on this matter. So these are just the two options that the IEC has. But in terms of the general public, Nompu, we spoke and we got voxies, from the general public just 2 days ago. We have mixed reactions, but the general public basically saying that they actually welcome the recommendations by Justice Moseneke. And this is also backed up by the findings of a survey that was conducted conducted by the University of Johannesburg and the Human Sciences Research Council that showed that 2/3, which is quite a large number, 2/3 of the public supported the postponement of the 2021 local government elections. But Nomba, I guess we'll all have to leave it to, the commission and hear what they have to say in about a couple of minutes from now.
Super. Thank you very much, Natasha, for that report. My colleague there, Natasha Piri.